We're midway through the latest lockdown, but today there was a warning that tighter restrictions could follow from the start of December, when the current shutdown is due to end. Most of the region was placed under the toughest Tier 3 restrictions last month. But while they seem to have been effective in some areas, in others they've made little difference to infection rates. So what's going on? Stuart Pollitt reports.
Well, from midnight.
Well, Dr Andrew Ferber is the man in charge of public health in the North West. I asked him if he was concerned by those outliers like Oldham and Blackburn, where the rates are refusing to shift significantly. Other areas, of course, in the region do have high levels of deprivation as well, places like Knowsley, places, parts of Greater Manchester, but their levels of infection are coming down. So why is there that discrepancy? Now, there were red braces among the black ties today in Lytham St Anne's as hundreds turned out to say farewell to Bobby Ball. The comedian, one half of the Cannon and Ball double act, died from coronavirus last month at the age of 76. Peter Marshall reports. Now, the NHS is urging thousands of people in the North West who've had COVID-19 to become blood plasma donors. The health service says it can use plasma that's rich in coronavirus antibodies to treat vulnerable patients at risk of contracting the deadly virus. Well, Mark Edwardson reports from a new plasma donor centre in Bolton. Now, last month's showdown between the government and Greater Manchester's Mayor Andy Burnham over coronavirus funding was a great piece of political theatre. But did it also show up an imbalance of power between Westminster and the big northern cities? Well, at a conference today, the former Deputy Prime Minister, Michael Heseltine, repeated his call for more power to be given to cities like Liverpool and Manchester. I asked him what the pandemic has taught us about local devolution.
It's reinforced in the north.
I mean, we've seen the likes of Andy Burnham and Steve Rotherham really rise to the top of the news agenda in a way that they just wouldn't have done a few years ago.
Yes, but their powers.
I know you've said before that you were converted to the idea of regional devolution after that visit to Liverpool in 1981. Lord Heseltine, very good to speak to you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lord Heseltine speaking to me earlier after that conference, which was organised by the Open Government Network. Now, all this month, the BBC is marking 25 years since the passing of the Disability Discrimination Act. One of those taking part is 18-year-old student Faizan Sheikh. He has a rare condition called Mosaic Edwards syndrome. Now, Faizan posts motivational messages online, and he made this one for BBC Radio Manchester. Something called Mosaic Edwards syndrome. Can you explain to us a little bit about what that is? Well, Faizan, I think you will have inspired a lot of people today. Thank you both very much for speaking to us. Thank you very much. Faizan and his mum, Tabor, and you can see more of Faizan's videos on his Instagram page, and that full message that he gave to BBC Radio Manchester is on their Facebook page. On to sport now, and the director of rugby at Sale Sharks says the club's been cleared of any wrongdoing in their handling of a coronavirus outbreak last month. There were 20... addressed. Now, it is one of Liverpool's hidden treasures, the top-secret underground bunker where 80 years ago the Navy masterminded the fight against the German U-boat menace. It's now a museum, and the curators have discovered a suitcase full of photographs and records charting the career of Doris Jones, a wren who served there. They now want to trace Doris's family and her former colleagues, as Lindsay Prosser reports. Liverpool. Do you know, I was really lucky a few years ago to be shown around that place by Peggy, who was a wren there during the war. She was only 17. And Owen, I tell you, she had not been back since the war. And as soon as she walked in, she just said all the memories came flooding back.
Oh, really?
Because of the smell of the place just brought it all back to her.
Yeah, of course. And it's so emotive, isn't it, when you're taken to a place like that? But
yeah,
that was,
yeah.
nice.
It's a great place if you ever get the chance to go. It's really interesting.
It looks fabulous, absolutely. We've got some changes on the way, Annabel, as far as our weather's concerned. We've had some, and Annabel, very windy as well.
Very windy. I have to say, I am very honoured because you send me photos of Franny, don't you, every now and then?
And you send me pictures of Lily as well. Lily's always sitting down, of course, everyone.
No, you're being rude again now. I watch that. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back at 10:30. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm sorry.